Hello!
Yo, what up, guys? Oh, we're gonna lean in a little bit.
Oh, it's a little tight. Hello, everyone.
Guys, welcome to the Digital Circus segment. We have Gooseworks here. Hi, Goose. Just talk to you.
Hello, hello.
And we have the lovely Michael Kovacs, voice of Jax.
The lovely Michael Kovacs. What an introduction. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing?
I love your backdrop, Michael. I love
thank you. Yeah, I spent the past week painting my room, and I got these posters all set up finally.
I love that. Starring me and starring me
and me.
No, guys, it is so good to have you on. So what we have planned today is we want to talk about all things Digital Circus. Goose, we have some questions. We've been burning to ask you, and then we're gonna chuck it over to the fans, and it'll be a general AMA. Michael, you have your fair share of questions as well, and there will be a do the voice part. So get prepared for that.
Oh, can't escape that.
Let's go straight into the questions. First one's you, Goose. That's not even a question. Can you give the audience that may have not seen Digital Circus a summary of the show?
I sure can. It's about a bunch of miserable people trapped in a virtual reality world that's very bright and colorful and fun.
Sounds like real life.
What I tell my friends, what I tell my friends is like, imagine kind of like Toy Story, but everyone's an asshole and they hate their lives. It's good watch. Goose,
they're not all assholes.
No, some of them have other things on their mind.
This guy's kind of an asshole.
Goose, how's things been? How's this past month been? Like, I want to know what was going through your head leading up to the pilot. You know, that month that was a big month for you, and then it dropped, and everything up until now. How's the journey been for you?
Well, leading up to it, I was like, I hope some people like this. I hope it gets maybe about 3/4 of the Murder Drones views. That'll be good. But boy, was I not prepared.
The Fairly Odd Parent
much
Kane.
More it blew up.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. How about you, Michael? What did you think, just from before and going into now, post release?
It's nuts. I genuinely, same with Goose. I thought that it was going to be, I thought it would do well. I've always loved Goose's work, and I knew that it would catch on. People would like it. But I didn't think that it would be getting 85 million views in its first month. I didn't think it would get that far at all.
None of us either. Seriously.
It's reached a point where it's impossible for me to comprehend. It's just it's still going up.
Right. The number's still going up by the millions.
It might hit 100 million by the end of this month, which is absolutely insane.
That's disgusting.
In the best way. No,
that's too many views.
It gets to the point where the numbers, you understand how really you don't, the numbers sort of start losing that magnitude after tens of millions. But what is really crazy is just seeing all corners of the internet, just Digital Circus music, Digital Circus characters, cosplay, fan art, TikToks, all that sort of stuff. It is wild. You guys have lit a fire underneath the fan community of just the kind of people that like this content. And Goose, I think you should be so proud of yourself for that. You made a really, really I'm not gonna use the word viral. I hate that word. You made a very good show.
I just made what I like. I took all the things I like, and I'm like, let's put it into one big show.
Everybody loves clowns.
Lots of other people like it too.
Yeah.
Well, when you so getting into the questions now, when you did start, you actually, I remember, you actually pitched us a few shows right when we first reached out to you. How did coining the Amazing Digital Circus come about?
It pretty much spawned from me learning that the pilot was going to be in 3D, because I have lots of ideas for shows, but like anyone who grew up with 2D cartoons, you just imagine everything to be 2D. So I was like, okay, a 3D cartoon, what's something I could do with that? And I'm really into it's called webcore, just that old 3D, crappy little GIFs. I really like that vibe. And I was like, you could turn this into a show. Retro 3D renders.
Yeah, we got up on the screen right now, all your inspirations, Poppy the Performer.
Love it.
The Klasky Scupo vibes.
Gumby.
Yeah.
Gumby.
and Michael, not even all of these are 3D, but it's just stuff from my childhood. I was like, let's just combine it all.
That's incredible.
See
Are
if it
you
works.
and like Michael, when you first saw this show, like how was that experience like for you when you first saw your like the casting call for Jax? And the
Yeah,
show itself?
so it's really funny because again, Goose, I've told this before, and I think Goose has too. So Goose messaged me like months before I even got the auditions, just saying, "Hey, can you do like a Raggedy Andy kind of character?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could probably do that." And then just months went on, I got the auditions for Digital Circus, and it didn't say in the email who was making it. I just was like, "Oh, another Glitch cartoon." I saw the characters and everything. I'm like, "This looks a lot like Gooseworks." And lo and behold, it was Gooseworks. Immediately, I saw the voice claim for Jax that said Raggedy Andy. I'm like, "Oh, this is that guy." Okay.
I was preparing you.
You mentally prepared me, and we made it happen.
Was it easy for you to get into the voice?
What's that? Oh, this is dumb and weird.
Was that easy for you to find the voice, or did you have to like
it's a
play around with
Raggedy
it?
Andy I just kind of listened to like him saying things like what's a quote from that movie? Give me a quote, Goose. You love that movie.
Oh, I know every quote.
You know every quote.
Something
What's a good
dumb, I
Raggedy Andy
bet.
quote? No more
I
girls.
think she's
Too
kind of
many
up till-
girls.
Too many girls, yeah.
Too many
is really weird.
girls. But
Yeah,
that's
one thing I really
so
like
fun.
is that you kind of made the Jax voice like its own thing. It's not just a perfect Raggedy Andy impression. It's like it is the Jax voice.
No, I wanted to make it steer away from Raggedy, because Raggedy Andy, when I listen to him, he's got a very soft and very kind of uplifting sound to him, where it's like very cozy. And I didn't want him to sound cozy. I wanted him to sound kind of like a dick. So
I mean,
I think you captured that well.
yeah, I kind of toughened him up a little bit, made him a little more vulgar in like attitude, but kept the not lazy, but like the carefree kind of sound that he has, and like the lack of perfect enunciation and little things like that, just to kind of keep those inspirations in line, but also make him distinct.
Brilliant.
And he's nobody's favorite character, I think.
Yeah, nobody likes him. Yeah.
Well, that was literally that was one of our questions that we're going to ask actually. Who are your favorite characters, both of you, and why is it Jax?
It is Jax for me. I don't think it's Jax for Michael though.
No, my favorite is Kane. I love Kane too much. He's so funny and just so eccentric. And Alex Roshan does such a good job in that character too. It's just he's just my absolute favorite.
Oh yeah.
But Jax is great. Jax is good, but Kane's my favorite.
Oh,
I think Jax couldn't not be my favorite because I specifically designed him to be everything that I like in characters. I like terrible characters. Griffith.
That's very interesting.
I made him everything I like. Just it was a little self-indulgent, I gotta say, but
A little.
I mean, other people like it too. So
I just remember on like the lead
Where's
up
the
to
error?
the lead up to Jax's introduction. You're like, I need to show the world Jax. Like, I need to get him out there. I need to show my favorite boy.
All right, next question. Who's your
Shut up, phone.
Goose? What inspired you for the soundtrack? Because the music is very unique. I keep hearing it on TikTok. I'm sure everyone's experienced this. I go somewhere on YouTube. I go on TikTok. It's just din, 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 din. So, like, what inspired that really iconic track and the rest of the soundtrack?
Well, during the development, I was listening to a lot of Bowen stuff. Callum Bowen, like the
Bowen.
Snipperclip soundtrack. He does video game music. And I was just listening to that, like kind of absorbing like vibes. And I think it was Be Okay. There was a song, it has this really like memorable, like repeating melody. And I was just like, damn, I want one of those. I want something that's just really simple and repeating, but could have like all these different harmonies going along with it. And just it came together. I really am proud of what we came up with. And also just working with Evan already. He's my cousin, and we did the Has Been Hotel
shout out to
soundtrack
Evan.
together. We
Shout out to
worked
Evan.
together really well, and he was able to pick up the style really well, and we just I don't know, we work really well together, and really happy with how it sounds.
And like one of the most memorable moments of the pilot is like at the very end, right, when Pomni's sitting at the Last Supper table.
Your new home song.
Yeah, and the new home song, like that hit a chord with everyone. Like, what was how did you go from the regular song into that piece?
Well, it's a very it's a very like good melody in terms of you can just put it in different contexts. Like you can add different chord progressions to it and it'll just change the feeling completely. So that was just me wanting to try add a different chord progression to that song, like a different style. And it just like, I actually wrote the song before I decided it would go with that scene. And I was like, yeah, this could go here. So then it just, because I kind of write music as I write. And then sometimes I'll just like write scenes to the music instead of the other way around.
That was one of the first things I think even before we were like into animation or modeling,
you just made music.
You made that song, like you made both the original Digital Circus theme and then New Home, and then you send it to us, and I was like, I don't know what this scene looks like yet, but it is making me feel things.
And Michael, what's your thoughts on the soundtrack?
Oh, the soundtrack is great. I've always loved Goose's music, even back when she just did Undertale remixes on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I love those.
Just such good music. And obviously, we worked together on the Has Been Hotel pilot, and your music in that was so good. And
awesome.
Just that's kind of how I discovered you, was from just our work together on that. And just you make such good stuff. Just really, really, really good music.
Well, thank you.
Goose isn't used to compliments.
I'm not.
No,
please don't compliment me.
You're not. You're not legally not allowed to have compliments. We have to be mean to you at all times. But I'm not going to today.
But it's going to be in the Jack's voice.
That's
the only.
I am.
All right. Next question. So, Michael.
Yes.
How does it feel to play N and Jax, two completely different roles, and how do you switch between them?
Well, it's really fun because one is just so chipper and the other just doesn't really give a crap.
I love that.
It's really fun.
So smooth.
Yeah. No, they're both kind of in the same register. Just one is more smiley and the other is just a little more carefree. I don't even really change the voice that much. It's really fun. Just cool. I don't know.
They are distinct, which is cool.
No thought that comes to mind when I like switch between them. It just kind of is seamless for me.
How did you design, like we always joke, all the creators joke, like, Michael, we were just telling Palo, like, you're gonna get Michael in your indie show, man. You've become like the good luck charm of indie animation. How did that happen? Like, how did this happen? Was it by design?
I don't know. I have really cool friends that make cool stuff, and they just ask me to be a part of it, and I'm just really grateful for them.
Isn't that incredible though? It's just like, oh, hey, we're working on this thing. Do you want to join? And like, you just can do it. You
exactly.
Don't have to, like,
it's genuinely awesome. And like, I love getting to work with my friends on cool things, and it's just, it's surreal. It's something I never really anticipated. Like, I didn't expect to be a part of, basically 4 of the 5 shows that you're representing today. Just very weird.
4 of the 5.
What inspired the design of the characters, Goose?
Well, there's different things for everyone. I know with Murder Drones, you wanted to keep it like kind of every character has like the same base. And for some reason, you said, oh yeah, Goose, you can do whatever you want. And I'm like, wow, I could make every character completely different.
And you did.
It's extremely hard to make.
And you did.
I apologize for that. You shouldn't have given me free reign.
No, I think one of the big reasons it's such a hit is because the designs are so unique and so versatile and different. Like, it gives all of them. You can literally just look at Pomni. You can look at this goober and be like, "Yep, I know a personality." Or you can look like Jax and same thing. It's fantastic. You did an incredible job there.
There's a lot of characters who I kind of got right on the first try when designing them. Like Pomni's one of them. Or well, she had a different design that was like a frog, but I didn't want to go that direction. I was like, this should be circus related in some way.
Wait, you drew a frog first for Pomni?
Yeah, it's in the sheet. There's this spindly frog thing. And that was originally going to be like the audience surrogate character. But then I was like, okay, well, the audience surrogate should be the main character, and the main character should be circus related in a way.
Yeah. So. Zubal's a really interesting one. Can you tell us what inspired her or them?
Zubal was one of the first characters I designed, actually, because I don't know, I like 90s toys.
You also like triangle heads.
Yes, definitely.
Something
I
about triangles.
Combine 90s toys and triangle heads to create the perfect character. But yeah, I just I,
So
I
we
like
actually
the
have one
idea
here.
of a
We're
character
pulling up
who
on
can
screen
switch
like
out their limbs.
Zubal's inspiration. These Zolo toys. Love
Yeah.
that.
Goose, I don't know what childhood you had, but you had some weird toys.
Yeah, so it looked like a lot of fun.
It made me who I am today.
All right, we will move on to the AMAs now. So everyone watching, if you do have your questions, please drop them in the chat, and we'll start pulling them up.
Again, we can't go through everyone's, but yeah, we'll try to get through as many as we can, and obviously nothing that will get us canceled or spoilers. No spoilers.
Yep. Before we begin, though, Michael, do you have a favorite design? Which one's your favorite design? I know Kane's your favorite character, but who has your favorite design?
Oh, favorite design is tough. I really like Kinger's design, how he's just a chess piece with like a king chess piece with a nice robe. It's so fun.
It's very simple, but it's very funny.
It is. It's simple,
All
but
right, let's go to our
effective.
first question. All right, Goose. First question. Jules asks, would you describe Kane as an antagonist or something else?
Oh, interesting.
Good question.
That is a good question. Like I wouldn't call Kane a villain, but I think I would call him an antagonist. Because he
Interesting.
doesn't
Really? Why is that?
he doesn't mean harm, but he causes harm.
Mm.
Like he is an obstacle for these characters a lot of the time.
Got
or
it,
at least
yeah.
for what I have
Yeah.
planned. There's
trying to
sometimes
be a
when
nice
he
guy, but-
really just doesn't get it.
But he really thinks he's helping them, right? Like he truly believes
Yeah.
that.
Well, there's a whole like
Okay.
spectrum of human emotion that he just doesn't feel, so he can't like empathize with it.
Right.
Mm.
Fascinating. Cool.
He's-
All right.
he's gonna
Next
be a fun
question.
one to explore.
Yep. Awesome.
Next question. Mitchell Smith asks, how has your previous work influenced DC?
Triangle head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the only thing I can think of. Is there anything else?
No,
there anything
yeah.
else?
Every new thing I make is kind of like I have the same like 5 ideas, and then I just kind of refresh them and recontextualize them. Like I love, obviously, triangle heads, big giant eyes on objects, characters floating
You ever
through
play Silent
voids.
Hill? You ever play Silent Hill?
I haven't. I watched
There's a giant
videos on
pyramid
it.
head in
Yeah.
This might be your cousin.
that.
Let's go on to the next question. Next question. Chibiloto asks, what inspired the personalities of each character? Let's start off with Jax first.
Well, they kind of work as a group. Like their personalities, I didn't want like them any two to be too similar. Like I wanted it to just have a really good ensemble cast that could all fill in for where the other ones lack.
Totally.
And what I noticed on social media and like fan art is every single character has its own fan base. Like
Yeah.
every character has its own like just lovable, like loving fans. It's great. Like I think what you made here, it's really unique. So good job.
It's
I
gotta be
want to
like-
give every character the proper amount of care, even if in the pilot they couldn't really have the most screen time because obviously we
Even Bubble,
only
which
fit
I did
so
not
much
expect to
into
have
a pilot.
fans.
Bubble and Zubul.
Yeah.
Zubul barely got any screen time, so it'll be nice to see, more of that in a full show. And also just nice seeing what
Yes.
the fans have come up with too. Just seeing fans love these characters, even if they've had such little screen time.
I
Have
feel
you
kind
seen
of
like
bad.
the
'Cause in
yeah,
my
the
plans,
OCs?
Zubul doesn't
seen,
get
like, the
much
digital
screen
circus?
time in episode 2 either. But don't worry, episode 3 is the Zubul episode.
Have you seen the
assuming we get funded for a whole season.
yeah? Have you seen the fan OCs of characters?
Hell
like people were just
yeah.
creating like, yeah. What
No,
do you
I
think of
love
them?
seeing the fan characters. It's
Yeah.
it's like wow.
saw-
I see this for other franchises, but now it's for my franchise. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
I saw a fan character that was just like, those little thingies, those little toys with like the wires and the balls or whatever that you see at like a
Yeah,
doctor's
I
office.
saw that
Yeah.
one.
I saw an OC that was like that. And I'm like, that's so cool.
I didn't even know you can make a character out of that. That's really
know.
awesome. Awesome.
I think that's
I love that.
what's drawing people in. You can just make a character out of anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Next question.
There we
There
go.
we go. Abnor Monomaly asks, does the Digital Circus crew ever get to eat that feast Bubble made? Did they ever get to eat it?
Yeah, they get to eat. They get to taste. They just don't get to digest.
Is there Italian cuisine in Digital Circus? We asked Liam the same thing.
I think there's everything that's in Kane's like memory bank in his library.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh,
So
okay.
spaghetti is probably in there.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. Next question.
Don't
We
worry,
have
spaghetti fans. There's spaghetti.
Luke is a spaghetti fan.
Kiro asks, what's it like abstracting? Do you feel any pain?
That's a good question.
Mm.
It
Everything
might
you
be
say now is
explored
canon
later
and
in
will
the
forever be held against
series.
you. Ooh. Oh yeah, just a heads up, like Goose is writing and developing Digital Circus. Like she's already writing stuff and things like that. We haven't obviously confirmed the season yet, but like we still want her to go and explore the world and come up with stuff. It's not just like a Goose, no more writing your characters. You're not allowed.
Yeah.
Goose is free to do whatever she wants, so she wants to write more characters and stuff. So I don't know how far she's planned, but
Yeah, sorry, we're not making a full season. It didn't get enough views.
Yeah, sorry, just chuck it all out the window.
Yeah.
No. Next question. Wolf Ranger asks, if Gangle wore heavy clothing, would she collapse? Oh, physics. A physics question.
Yeah.
Well, the physics in the Digital Circus don't really make any sense. So I guess it depends on her attitude. Because I like to think that like when she's happy and she's got her happy mask on, like she's more just able to do anything. But when she's sad, she's way more floppy and subject to the whims of the world.
Probably also depends on the comedy of how you're writing the scene. You know, if you want it to be funny, you want her to have a funny, like, you know, like, gravity. Maybe you'd put that in, but otherwise, probably not.
I mean, canonically, Kane just lets stuff happen if he thinks it's funny.
Yeah. Bites his own eyes with his teeth if it's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, cool. Let's go on to the next question. Annie asks, what was the Gloink Queen's inspiration? That's a very interesting one.
Lots of things. I
Big
like
worm.
big giant worms in fiction.
Like
I think
Liam.
Empress Bullblacks was definitely the biggest inspiration from Pikmin 2. Just a big insect queen.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, well, let's pull up the next question. Not a person says, can you say something that Jax said as N and vice versa?
All right, that's you, Michael.
That's you, Michael.
Oh, here's the fun one. Here's the fun one. I'm fine with doing whatever, so long as I get to see people get hurt, or whatever the line was. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm fine
As
with
long
doing
as I can see
whatever.
funny things happen to people.
Yep. So, there's that line, and then Jax saying like, "Sure, I love doing anything." There's
Sounds
similar lines. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
Very
fun
similar
one.
lines.
Goose, you voice Bubble as well, right?
I sure do.
Is that could you give us a little sample of Bubble? Is that
Yeah.
a filter you put on, or is that just
I mean,
a
I
voice
have
you
to
go to?
yell because he's always like, "That's right, Kane!" Like stuff like that.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Can you give us a Bubble impression? Give
Say
us a-
something to Jax. Say something to Jax real quick.
And Jack's reply.
Yeah.
Hi, Jax. Can
What
I
do you
kiss
want?
you?
Ew. Lay it on me.
Oh! Jax! Jeez! This is
Come here,
a-
You just
sugar.
spawn.
Use some tongue.
No, stop. We're ending that. Ending that roleplay there.
You spawned so much fan art just then. Holy,
Gotta be done. Anyway,
that's too much power, man.
yeah,
That's
we're
too
gonna
much power.
forget that. I'm gonna move on to the next
Don't
question.
worry, I'm sure the fans will be responsible.
Oh boy. I guess ask how much love is Bubble legally allowed to give? That's a very interesting one.
Ooh.
I don't want another Bubble question, but
We got another Bubble question.
I think we just saw earlier in the last question.
An adequate amount of
no,
love.
so inadequate amount. So just just a little bit of
a bit of smooching. That's legally how much you can.
Just a little.
A little bit of
I don't
smooching.
like
Little
this question.
smooching.
I don't like the direction
I
of
don't
where
like-
this
I
is
don't like
going.
this is
Luke.
going. Okay.
Next
Please
question.
tell me we have the next question loaded up. Q, please. Okay, go, Kevin.
IC asks, how does Jax eat if he can't open his mouth?
Oh, interesting.
Same way he talks, baby, like a robot.
He
Oh, no,
can
he do
open
it.
his mouth though. He does it in the pilot.
He just has to be choked really hard to open his mouth, apparently.
I mean, I like to imagine the characters eat just like I've posted a GIF of this many times, but just like the Chow in the Chow Garden. They just kind of hold the food up and then it just shrinks
Right.
incrementally.
Oh, it's like Animal Crossing. Yeah.
The way it does in
That's
video
cool.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any favorite notable foods from any of the characters, like Jax or Pomni? Or...
What is Jax's favorite food?
I don't
That's a
know.
great
That's a
question.
question I get asked a lot on
Spaghetti.
Tumblr, and
Mike-
I'm just like, I have to think of an
Spaghetti?
answer. To this
Spaghetti
someday.
fans are winning today. It's spaghetti.
Yeah.
How
You
about
know,
Pomni?
yeah, no,
You make it-
Jax loves spaghetti.
Lots
There
of
you go.
spaghetti.
Canon. That's canon.
What does Pomni like?
Tears.
Salmon.
Salmon. All right.
All right.
Seafood.
Next question. Let's pull it up. Soup Takeover asks, was the ending a Last Supper reference? I don't know.
In a very, very superficial kind of way, yeah. I thought it would be funny.
Funny. Everyone was like,
You see
people
that-
writing about
No,
it.
there is a lot of like religious imagery and stuff, but like a lot of it is just because I think it's kind of funny to put that in a cartoon.
It's like a-
Just-
It's like a game theory Matt Pat video of him just like watching thing, and he just clicks a tab and just goes to the Last Supper, and it's the funniest thing out of context.
Yeah. Very funny.
I've seen so many people also like take the picture you did of Pomni on the cross, and people be like, does this mean
Yeah.
something?
No,
What
I
are
just
they
did that-
implying?
I just did that with the model I made because once again, I just thought it would be funny. I thought it would be a funny visual, just having this little clown
Or
crucified.
Pomni.
I love that like Goose would just do something she thinks is funny. People be like, "This is lore.
Is
this
this
must be
lore?"
I mean, it might be law. You never know. Maybe she's hiding
You
something.
never
Yeah,
know.
just red herring. Yeah.
I lie all the time.
next-
It's
I'll be in a
Cool.
session with Goose and she'll tell me something like just whatever's going on, and I'll be like, "Are you serious?" Like maybe later down the line something happens, and I'm like, "Really?" And I won't know if she's lying or telling the truth. I won't know if she means it or not. I'll be like, just doing my thing, and she'll be like, "Jax dies." I'm like, "Does he really?" You'll have to see.
Yeah, she does that all the time.
She does
I
that all
know.
the time. Fine.
Awesome. Let's
Next
go on to
question.
yeah, next question.
I love keeping
Oh, sorry,
people
Goose,
on
you
their
were there.
toes.
Crowded asks, how much can Vagatha physically survive? Interesting.
I mean, theoretically, they can physically survive anything. Like she got really beat up in the pilot, and that
Right.
kind of jumbled her code up a bit, made her a bit
But
glitchy.
she
but,
felt
like,
the pain, right? It sounded
Yeah,
like she
yeah.
felt the pain. Yeah.
but that could never kill
Oh.
her, unless
so
it
that means-
also breaks her mind, and then she abstracts,
Wait.
which would be a real bad time.
Okay.
What was
Cool.
that?
So that means they can feel any kind of pain inflicted. They just can't
Can
die.
they be, yeah, can they be severed? Like, can Ragatha's head just
Yeah.
fall off? Yeah. And
They
it'll be
can
like
get cut up,
disembodied
they
head?
can get stabbed, they can do any of that. I like to think they feel a little less physical pain than you would in the real world, just because they do so
Okay.
many cartoony, wacky things, and like
Mm,
maybe feeling less pain would be more like existentially terrifying.
okay. That's terrifying. Why would Kane have that in?
Why would why would he program in pain?
Because he feels like he should. He's not a very good AI. He's
It'll help them. All right, cool.
All right, well,
because
awesome.
if you
Let's
take
bring up the
away
next
pain,
question.
they go insane.
Hmm.
Have you seen that where
it
people
makes
are
them
in
feel-
a room alone and like there's this
Right.
button that shocks them, and they always press the button twice because they'd rather feel pain than be bored?
Mm, wow.
That is actually deep as hell.
That is terrifying.
Which character in DC did you have the most fun designing?
I think Zubul, because Zubul was like one of the first things that I was just really excited to tackle. Just like a character that's all built of random pieces. That
Yeah,
was what I first
totally.
started collecting reference for, and just kind of. It's one of the first characters I designed, so I had a lot of fun with Zubul. I like Zubul.
That's it.
It's really fun having a
you go.
character where you can just swap out their body parts if you wanted to. Like you saw it on their door that they have like slightly different pieces on their door than they do in the episode. So it's like there's a lot of room to explore that and play around with that a
Yeah.
little.
That's really interesting. Cool.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a big part of the design, right? You were saying like right at the outset, you want Zuba to change. Like if you were to do multiple episodes, every episode you wanted to swap out parts.
Yeah. I want there to be a new Zubul in every episode.
That's cool.
Nice. All right, next question.
I mean, they'll still have the signature triangle head, bean body. It's just everything else that swaps out.
Awesome. Dead Ghosts asks, how did the other characters get their names? Was it like Pomni? So they have a little roulette wheel.
Ooh.
I think it's different for each character. I think some of them, like Jax, definitely chose his name.
Ah.
I like to imagine that Jax also chose Gangle's name.
Just made it up for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just bullies
okay.
Gangle even in coming up with their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's pretty different for each one, just based on how they handle it. Like some of them are just like, I don't care, you can name me, or some of them like, let me think about it. I'll choose my own name.
But out of universe though, how do you get inspiration for all these names? Because they're so unique. You know, Jax, Pomni, Zubul, Kane. Is there anything you look to reference, or is it the first thing that pops in your head?
I kind of
Sounding
just
word.
I look at the design and then I put syllables together until I think it sounds good.
Like gloinks.
Boinks. Yeah, that's the weirdest word,
Yeah.
but you know, it fits.
For a
when you
while,
look at it.
Ragatha was named Emmy, but then I didn't think that was that great. I thought Ragatha was better.
Raggedy.
Raggedy. Next question. Mabe asks, can they change clothes or is it part of their skin?
Oh no. Oh, this is a...
They
I know
can't
it's-
change their clothes, but Kane can change their clothes.
Ah.
It is part of their skin,
Okay.
or like their quote unquote skin. It's just
So
part
is
of
it
their
like
design.
Is it like a video game where, like, if you look underneath their head, if Pomni lifted up her hat, would it just be
Yeah.
nothing?
It would just be nothing
No.
with like backface culling. It would-
That's
What?
awesome. That's crazy.
I really want to put a gag in one of the episodes where she
Yeah.
does that finally.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Next question. King Eka asks, is Kane's voice based off of Spamton?
No. No, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I was designing the character, there was these specific Spamton dubs that I was like, wow, this guy really captures that character. I like that. And then when I was thinking like, what
and then you
voice should I
literally
give
got the
Kane?
guy.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh wait, that guy's voice would fit. What if we just actually got that guy? And
Yeah,
then we
that's what it
did,
said in the
and-
audition sheet. When I got the audition sheet, I saw that it said Kane voice ref. Literally just Spamton voice dub guy. We could just
By
reach out
Alex
to him
Roshan.
probably. Alex Roshan, he's so freaking good.
He
Yeah,
did
a
such a good
perfect
job
fit.
with it. Like, he's the perfect person
Yeah,
to play that character.
he's great.
Mhm.
Michael, can you do a Kane impression?
People will just
Try
say it sounds like a bootleg Markiplier voice if I try. Welcome to the Amazing Digital Circus.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
That's pretty convincing. Kane.
Boisterous. I like it.
Next question. Farsgate asks, what do you think about the fan art?
Well, there's lots of different kinds of fan art.
There's a lot. Yeah.
A lot of it I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's another whole portion of it that I don't look at because I don't want to see it.
I've seen
Yeah,
some
that's
very
right.
fun pieces of fan art. In a positive and negative way, but mostly positive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
it's-
have a folder of Jack's fan art that I've just been collecting because that's my
For
boy.
research?
For research.
Yeah. Okay.
Make a
Research.
Jax collage.
Why would I need to research Jack's? This is just for my personal enjoyment.
I love. She's
Let's not
honestly.
very
sugarcoat it. I
honest.
like this guy.
Don't
right, all
look
right.
for the photo of Jax in the maid outfit or anything. No,
Who drew that?
I wonder.
Why would anybody draw
No.
that?
I
It's
don't
messed
know.
up.
There's I've seen lots of Goose fan drawings of Jax. I say fan drawings, but it's literally your character, so it's not fan drawings. You're just drawing the character. But you are a fan of Jax. Let me say
I
that.
am. I accidentally
Um,
cast myself under my own spell. He's just the most fun to doodle, and he's also really simple, so it's just easy to doodle him.
Rabbit.
Jack, yeah, okay. Goose, is there anything you want the fans to draw Jackson after this stream? Like any
What kind of
requests?
question is that?
Like I don't know.
Much
It's just
power.
like, is there anything you want to see Jax dressed as? And the fans will draw it for you. It's just
All right.
a silly little question.
Draw him.
Make a fan request.
Yeah,
to the
fan
fans, your
request to the
character.
There isn't enough art of him in like fancy like tuxedos and stuff, and like suits. That I always like that.
Dapper Jax.
Dapper Jax.
Dapper Jax.
Dapper Jax.
All right.
Yep.
Fans, you heard it. We better see more Dapper Jacks.
I love that. All right, let's continue. So we have another question.
Draw Jack's crying. I like when he cries.
Poor man.
Phantom asks, how many girls does Gangle have?
How many
How many
masks?
what?
Girls? How many masks
Girls.
does Gangle
What
have?
does that mean? How many masks?
How many masks? Yeah,
She's
yeah.
got 2. A
happy
happy
and
one
sad
and a
mask, right?
sad one.
And why does the sad one keep breaking all the time?
I think it's part of the character.
Isn't that
I think
the
it's
For the
question?
happy one.
shtick. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That might go down a story arc, a character
It's
thread.
because-
Who knows?
That mask is just simply more fragile. If
Can
she
the
was a
sad one
happy,
break?
joyful person, then I think the sad one would be able to break more. But
Mm.
the truth is,
Are there-
the real her is harder to break.
Here's a really big question, actually, just going off of that. Have there been any cut characters from the show? So any characters like that were originally going to be in it? Or
I mean,
Changed?
Kaufmo, kind of. He was gonna be part of the main cast,
really?
Oh, and
That's
then,
when I
interesting.
and then
developed,
he died.
but then I developed Jax, and I was like, okay, this is too many characters. Let's sacrifice this guy. He could be of use to us yet.
I want to mention also, I saw, like, when you were teasing obviously the pilot coming out, I saw what looked like a 3D rendered or at least sculpted or something picture of Kaufmo. I'm like, did you really go through the effort of at least sculpting like a 3D model?
Yeah,
Not
I
use
went
it?
into Blender and I made. He
That was all
doesn't have
Goose.
legs. He doesn't really have anything below the waist. The background is just a flat 2D plane of an image with the circus printed on it.
It's really impressive.
So good.
I wanted it to look
I genuinely
real.
was like, did they really 3D model Kaufmo?
Yeah.
That was all Goose. Yep.
Cool. We got the next question
Yep.
on.
We're coming towards the end of the segment, so we have a few final questions. SpongeBob asks, would Pomni be friends with Kaufmo if he didn't get extracted? Would they have been friends?
That is a good question. Perhaps. Or though perhaps maybe Pomni would have been very annoyed by his jokes. Maybe his
kind of
jokes were
person was
actually
he?
not very good.
What kind
Maybe
of
she's
person
like, why
was
are you
Kaufmo?"
joking? This is serious business.
Oh, yeah, what kind of person was Kaufmo?
You're asking too many questions.
He doesn't know?
Basically,
Oh.
based on the original plan, he was kind of the same as Ragatha in a sense, that he was just kind of friendly and happy and always goofing around.
Yeah.
But
Just like
subject
a very cheery, optimistic kind of like
pain and violence.
kind of toxic positivity almost kind of clown character, I
Got
guess.
it.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Guys, thank you so much for the segment. Like, this was so much fun. Just a few genuine questions for me. Michael, obviously, you're voicing Jax.
Mhm.
What is there anything you want to see happen in the show while Goose is here? What do you want next from Digital Circus? What do you want next from Jax? What would you like to see?
Man, there's so much I'd like because there's so much room to explore with these characters and like the setting. It's a digital world, and obviously, I assume that means that they can manipulate that world and do all kinds of fun things with it. Like it's not just the circus tent, it's not just the grounds. I figured there's more room to explore and like create environments and stuff. So it's the possibilities are kind of endless, I would say. And I want to see a beach episode. Let's get a beach episode going.
Beach
guys.
OVA, let's go.
Get the
Is that in the
anime
books,
beach
Goose?
OVA episode going.
Hey, if you could give me 9 episodes instead of 8, well, we could fit it in there.
Yeah.
Goose, just finishing off, like, what for you? Obviously, you're writing and working on more of the show. Just how important is just community to all of that, and like what you want to do and your ambitions for the show? How much does that sort of, because you are online quite a bit and you interact with the fans a lot. I can see that you love engaging with the fans. So what does this community mean to you, I guess, and what's important to you to see?
You're the guys that are making the show happen. Like, just like knowing that something I write is going to be like subjected to a large group of people that like also that want to see it. I think that's really motivating to me. Just knowing like any little subtle thing I put in there is going to get noticed by someone, and that's really cool.
Matt Pat's gonna notice. You'll
Aw.
He
notice.
sure is.
All right, cool. Goose, Michael, thank you guys so much for your time. This was an incredibly interesting experience. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you for bringing this sad girl into the world.
Yeah, the world needs more Pomni. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Supported
you
the merch,
for-
Michael.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I had to get it all. I've got everything.
Thank you
Heck
for
yes.
letting me have Michael with me,
Awesome.
so I wasn't too awkward.
It was fun. I don't
No,
think
you
you
were
were that.
great.
I
You
don't
were
think you were
absolutely great.
awkward, Goose.
You
You
were
did great.
Yeah.